Okay, guys, so today is another grungy garage day. So I have my grungy clothes on, and um, we are going to try and diagnose the convertible with regard to why it decided not to start on me last weekend. I backed it out into the driveway, washed it, and when I went to start it 30 minutes later to pull it back into the garage, won't start. Um, so I'm kind of pissed. I really have no idea, like, how does something work 1 minute and then just completely not work the next? I just, stuff like that I can't fathom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and diagnose this, and I've got so I'm terrible with this whole video thing, so I've got a whole little setup over here. I've got my laptop, I've got my voltmeter, some reading material, all kinds of good stuff. So I am going to check a couple things that there was one guy that had posted on the Benz Forum about 5 or 6 years ago. He was having a similar problem, and it turned out to be the ignition control module, which it could be the problem with this car as well. I mean, most of this car is original. Mr. Larson did have I have a huge stack of service records and everything for this car, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to buy it so badly, because there were such good records on it. However, there are other things that appear to possibly be original, like the ignition coil. That looks original. And then, of course, let me pan this way. Down there in the corner is the ignition control module. So what we're going to do is, I don't know, we're going to tinker. I'm going to get out the voltmeter and see if I can figure out what might be the problem. Now I have two cars sitting in the garage that I can't, because, there's Sebastian over there. And so now I have two fucking cars in the garage that don't start. So I'm like, this is just not, I don't know. I'm totally irritated. So I'm gonna take around here for a second and see if I can figure out what might be the problem, and then we'll go from there. You bitch. Okay, guys. So it's been about 5 hours since I came out here. And this right here is the, I hope you can see this. This is the ignition control module out of the convertible, an 84 R107. I could not get, I don't know if you can see this. There's 4 little screws here on the front. I couldn't get those off. I don't know. It's German. They probably have Loctite or something on them, because they're German. I was able to get the screws off of the side. And I pulled the screws off and kind of did like a sniff test. And I was like, I smell burnt, like burnt wire. So, I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to smell like that up inside of there after, what is this car? 36 years? Or maybe that burnt smell is indicative of why the fucking car won't start. I don't know. But anyway, so I've got this. I'm going to order a new switch for the convertible, and then let's see, what else did I do while I was down in here today? I did a bunch of tests. I'm going to try and pan the phone. I did a bunch of tests, ohm tests and voltage tests based on what the guy on the Benz Forum suggested. He had a whole thread. And this car, if I did it right, basically all the tests, all the voltage and ohms tests, everything passed with the exception of the one for the switch. If I'm reading it right, and I took some photographs I'll post in here as well. If I'm reading it correctly, what it told me was the switch is definitely bad. This is, you see this. This is like the old, this is like what, you know, nowadays they plug a scanner in. This is the equivalent to that from like 30 to 40 years ago. So that's actually what I used to, where is it? See, I have my little volt. I have my little voltmeter. And that's what I was using for, to do the testing. So we did that. And then just for giggles, so the green lead wire that you see, that bright green wire, that's brand new. While I was in here today, I also replaced, I already had a distributor cap and rotor that I bought for the car about a year and a half ago. So while I was in here digging around, I went ahead and I replaced that too. I figured it can't hurt. So the rotor, the cap is new, the lead wire is new, the ignition switch, once I buy it and install it, that'll be new. And then the only other thing, the coil here, the coil passed voltage or ohm tests, but I'm just thinking, I don't know, if it's only like $50 or something, I may just buy a new coil and just so I know it's done. So anyway, so that's what's going on with the convertible. Then over here, while I was doing all this shit, here's, poor, bless him, here's Sebastian. I did the same voltage and ohm tests on Sebastian. He has, everything in this car is new. The spark plugs, the wires, the distributor cap, the rotor, the green lead wire, even the coil here, and these two resistors down here. I just put those in a few weeks ago. Everything in Sebastian is brand new except for the ignition control module itself and the distributor itself. So I don't know. What I'm going to do, I hate to spend the money, but I'm going to order a new ignition switch for both cars and see if that solves the problem for both cars. I literally haven't driven Sebastian in almost 2 years. The last time I drove Sebastian was February of 21. And he was at the mechanic until June. They got him running. I limped him home. Came out to start him a few weeks later, and he wouldn't start. I don't know. So he's been sitting here in the garage since June of 21. And to be honest, I just have not. I'm 100% right brain. I'm not a mechanic, so it's difficult for me to wrap my head around these cars and try and figure them out. But I am trying. I really do want to learn, so I'm trying my best. So I don't know. We're going to order the stuff. The parts are returnable. If I plug it in and the car still doesn't start, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably have the new parts in a few weeks. So in another few weeks, I'll probably do another video, and it's either going to be me standing out here in the garage flicking because the car doesn't start, or jumping up and down and crying like a 12-year-old girl because the car does start. It's a toss-up. I have no fucking idea. It could go either way at this point. It's my life, so who knows? I mean, God. This car, I mean, the convertible was perfect. It is perfect. It ran, I mean, how it worked, like how I was able to back it into the driveway to wash it, and then 30 minutes later the car wouldn't start. I mean, shit like that is unfathomable to me. I can't even wrap my head around it. How does that happen? And people are like, well, things can, it could have failed. The switch could have failed when you went to start the car. Okay. Maybe. So, yeah, I'm just like frustrated because I'm tired and I'm dirty. Look though, mechanic hands. So I'm gonna wrap everything up and go inside and take a shower, and then no more cars for the weekend. No more car anything until these new parts come in, because I can only handle so much. So stay tuned for the next video. And I make these, I know I'm long-winded and shit, but I make these videos because there's a lot of guys out there on this page that really do know their stuff, and thank goodness for you guys, because you kind of help inspire me to be brave to do this stuff. But there's also a lot of you guys who are still afraid to work on your cars, and I'm one of them. I'm one of you. So I kind of make these videos, I don't know, just to kind of give some of you other guys hope that, if I can come out here and tinker and try and figure some stuff out, anybody can. And I do believe that it's good to know enough about your cars to at least have kind of an idea what might be wrong with it. And then where to go online to Google it, to try and, research it or what have you. So, that's kind of why I do these. I'm kind of hoping that it's a learning experience for me, and maybe some of the stuff that I'm doing will actually help some of you guys down the road as well. So anywho, and what I'll probably do in the post is I'll probably also put a link to the Benz World, page that I used to do the diagnosing on the convertible today. Poor thing. I love this car. I love both these cars. I just want them to run. Like, I just want to be able to get in them and drive them. Not too much to ask. So anyway, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys in a few weeks when we get new parts. Bye.